Another live episode of Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, Soldier of Self Mastery. But this program is all about soldiers of self mastery. So, once again, I want to welcome you from around the world. Here we are. We find ourselves once again right out of Stockton, California. This is Santos Jr. here, aka Soldier of Self Mastery, episode number 61. We were going to be sharing in this episode about business and about making money and exercise. But instead, we're going to take a left turn and we're going to talk specifically about problem gambling tonight in this episode. We're going to talk about dealing with problem gambling. How the question to ask is, how can I stop this problem gambling that I have in my life? How can I correct this issue? Okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about here. Let's get some house cleaning out of the way. Friday nights, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when I'm here on your program. Fridays, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If I'm not here on Fridays, I am here on Sundays. I work during the week. Sometimes my schedule gets a little difficult for me, so I can't make it on Friday, but I will definitely see you on Sunday. By the way, if you benefit from this program, I am encouraging you to give financially, whatever you can give, $20, $30, $150,000. Whatever the Lord lays upon your heart that you want to give to this labor of love, this mission. My friend, I'm encouraging you to do so because when you give, it comes back to you. Also, Santos Place. I want you to remember that, okay? Santos Place. That's the PGBA, the Problem Gambling Breakthrough Academy. That's going to be my new address. You need help? You want to go to Santos Place. Okay? What are we talking about here today? We're going to be dealing with problem gambling. We're going to be dealing with, I'm getting a lot of questions. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of comments. There's people that are right in the midst of this problem. You want to know what to do. You want to know how you can get away from it. You want to know how to transform. Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. We're going to be talking about that this afternoon. Now, I've gotten everything out of the way. I think we're going to be here rather. We're going to go through this rather quickly. Okay. And I've got my agenda. Here's my agenda on my cheat sheet. Today's proverb 18. I love this proverb. This is an excellent proverb. Proverbs 18, verse 20. Proverbs, verse 18, chapter 18, verse 20 says, a man's belly shall be satisfied with the fruit of his mouth, and with the increase of his lips shall he be filled. What are you filling yourself up with, my friend? What do you want to fill yourself up with going forward? What do you want to fill yourself up with going forward? My friend, all right, welcome to the program. Let's see who we've got on board tonight here. By the way, I'm taking on your questions. We're going to be talking about problem gambling, or of course, we always derail a little bit from the program. That's okay. Hey, Jeremiah Harris, welcome. Park, Florida, Orange Park, Florida. Welcome to episode number 61. This is episode number 61. Am I excited about episode number 61? You bet I'm excited. Do I look excited? I hope so. Yumoto, welcome to the program. Again, we're going to be here for 30 minutes. This is a live interactive questions and answers program. Uh-oh. I got a message here. I'm not going to pay attention to my message. So, what topic are we going to take on tonight here? I threw my agenda to the side. Let me see what you guys got. What do you have in mind today here? I have nothing. So we're gonna sit here and do some deep breathing. Jeremiah Harris. Complacency. What is complacency? What does complacency mean? Okay, let's get into this. Uh, let's get into complacency. What do you mean by complacency, Jeremiah? Educate me, my friend. Why do you want to stop gambling? Is your why strong enough? Okay. Big Ben, welcome to episode number 61, my friend. Yes, this is a big deal. 61 episodes of this program that's going around the world. Sometimes I get in front of the camera and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going to have fun tonight. We're going to have fun here. We're going to have fun. We're going to maybe laugh a little bit. Hey, you can laugh at me, okay? Poke some fun at me. I'll be the cheesecake tonight here. By the way, I'm encouraging you, okay? If you are benefiting, remember to give. Remember to share, okay? So, why do you gamble? Okay? Big Ben, what's up, my brother? Almost looks like a little Playboy bunny. I got a little the little finger, the peace sign. Laura, welcome to episode number 61. Okay, Jeremiah says, for example, because the smoke is clear and I do not choose to gamble today, does not mean I want to gamble tomorrow without working tools to stay abstinent. That's a good point, Jeremiah. Right? We don't know what's going to happen on the horizon. We don't have control over everything. Now, we do have some say so over where we're headed, right? Every single day, you should be doing a little bit, enough to keep you moving in the right direction, right? So it is true. We're not gambling right now. We are focused. We're not concerned about going to the casino. We're not focused on any of the right now. We're focused on what we're focused on right here. We're talking about this, right? And this should be right now, this should be kind of like a platform to help us prepare for that next trigger, for that next temptation, for that next experience that, if we're not careful, may send us packing to the casino. Now, you have to have number one, you have to have desire. Okay, I'm gonna start going through my litany of principles here. How does one stop gambling? How does one change his life? How does one stop some kind of an addiction that is in the way? How does one stop it? Taking care of what is in front of us, Jeremiah Harris says. Resting on my laurels, per se. Resting on my morals. Is it morals or laurels? Um, it's a good point Jeremiah brought up here, right? We're talking about, Laura says, desire. Well, without desire, you won't be able to achieve anything, right? There's got to be, um, even if there's just a little drop of blood, right? Just even if there's a little drop of blood, that could be a motivator, right? You got to have something, some desire. In fact, last week, uh, Friday, we were talking about focus, and of course, focus is just about everything. Just about. It's not everything, okay? So don't bust my chops, but it's just about everything because whatever we focus on, for instance, when you woke up this morning, what did you focus on this morning? What was on your mind this morning when you got up, right? Does that have anything to do with how we are going to, uh, how the rest of our day is going to be played out? Of course it is. Desire is huge. Angie, welcome to episode number 61, my friend. Chris, welcome to episode number 61. We're talking about putting an end to stop, putting an end to problem gambling. How do you stop problem gambling? How do you change? How do you make something different happen? And when do you want to start that process is another great question, right? When? Laura says desire sure helps. Yumoto, motorized bicycles. I focus on starting a productive day. So you focused on something. You, a productive day is the byproduct of something that you focused on, right? Cause and effect. Like my 15-minute morning this morning, I got up this morning and I did some, in fact, I made a video of it. It's in the dark, but I may post it on on YouTube. 15-minute mornings, right? I usually start my 15-minute mornings with some exercise, with some affirmations, uh, talking to myself very nicely, being being nice to myself early in the morning. Are you nice to yourself early in the morning? Right? How do you treat yourself? How do you treat yourself early in the morning? By the way, I Santos Place. Santos Place. Does that make any sense? What does Santos Place have anything to do with it? What does Santos Place have anything to do with what we're talking about here? Santos Place has something to do with the PGBA, the Problem Gambling Breakthrough Academy. Need help? Santos Place, the Problem Gambling Breakthrough Academy. Enroll today. It's my new commercial. Anyways, I'm just having some fun here. What about the Powerball? What about the Powerball, Angie? Somebody's going to win 750 plus million. Is it? One ticket when it's really big jackpot. Well, I hope whoever wins that jackpot um, has good morals, good principles to live by. Jeremiah Harris says Psalm 141, verse 3. That's a good one, I'm sure. Maybe we'll read it here in a little bit. Okay. Big Ben says you got to stay busy or the gambling demons start to attack. Laura, I was going to play Powerball, but I would spend $4 only. I don't know. I've thought about that myself, playing the lottery, the ticket, what is it? The Powerball. You play it once or twice a month. I don't know. I thought about that, but that's a form of gambling too. It's a little different. It is a little different, but again, we're talking about moving away from gambling, moving away from what is destroying us, moving away from what is destructive, moving away from where most of our money is being poured into, right? Moving away from that thing that is so destructive that it is captivating our life. We, we've already we've already come to the agreement that number one, desire has to be a huge part, right? Number two, what should be the number two if you want to stop gambling or you want to change? You want to change. What should be the next? I'm not going to give it to you. I have to do this without reserves. Burn. In other words, you got to burn all bridges. Once you draw the line in the cement, you got to burn all bridges. Okay. Um, Let me see. Jim says, can we imagine the feeling of hate or indifference to the vices in our lives? That's a good point, Jim. I do this. I do this when I'm doing my deep breathing. I do a lot of visualization. It's amazing what you can do with your mind. You can trick your mind. Either that or your mind's going to trick you, right? I say this all the time. You either are training your brain or your brain is training you. You can use, in fact, there's something that I mentioned in the Little Red Book. Okay. There's something that I mentioned in the Little Red Book. It's pretty challenging in actuality. And Jim, you're bringing in a good point here, Yumoto, where you can actually use your mind to visualize. You can actually throw anger on a vice. You can actually manipulate these vices. You can actually even imagine these vices like some kind of a thing or an individual, a real ugly type of thing, right? And in your mind, you can actually wrestle with that thing and you can crush that thing and you can grind it to powder in your mind. You can do all kinds of things. And you may think, well, Santos, that's a bunch of bullshit or that's all funny, but it's true that this actually works. The problem uh, lies in the fact that most people are not willing to take the time out to do the little life hack. That's where the problem lies. It's not these life hacks. Getting in front of the mirror, reading this book. There's a bunch of challenges in this book, right? Those of you that have purchased it, maybe you're reading it. Hopefully, you're studying it. Let this book challenge you. You know, like Jim says, use your mind, use your imagination, my friend. If you're stuck and you're having problems and you want to stop problem gambling, there's all kinds. But again, if you don't have the desire, if you do not have the desire, you're not going to change anything. Now, I'm still waiting on number two here. I'm not going to give it to you. What's number two? We're talking about stopping gambling or stopping some other nonsense that is not helping us. By the way, I'm wondering what's happened to my friend Rob. He calls me Dr. Santos. Hey, John Brown. Welcome to episode number 61. Nice to see you again, John. Okay, we're talking about stopping gambling. We're talking about addiction here. We're talking how do we change? How do we make a difference? You know, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of saying that I'm going to do this. I'm tired of this back and forth kind of thing. What is it that I need to do in order to stop this monster in my life? How can I overcome it? What do I need to do? Number one, desire. Number one, desire. You got to have some form of desire. I don't care if it's a little drop of blood. Let me see. Jim Rohn, Yumoto says, Jim Rohn also says the miracle of good fortune only happens through action. That's right. That's right. Action. Like, again, I have to ask the question, what did you do today to get you further to where you want to be tomorrow? What did you do today, this morning? This program, hopefully this program, and I'm encouraging you to take notes, my friend. This program should be a part, a small part of your daily investment for you to go forward with. Hopefully, right? I'm always encouraging, I'm always motivating. Walk away with something. Don't don't just come here. Um, sure, share, ask me questions. Challenge me. Bust my chops if you need to. Call me a cheesecake. I don't care. We're here to get ahead. We're here to go forward. We are here to become the best version of ours. Are you the best version of yourself? Did you do something good this morning for yourself? I'm getting on somebody's tail right here today. Contingency plan with my triggers. What is your contingency plan? What is it? Jeremiah, what's your contingency plan? Share it with us, man. Got to have something, right? What is it? What is it? Let me see. Don't carry money that I absolutely don't need. There you go. That's one way to do it. Chris, hey, welcome to the program. My problem was I make excuses to permit myself to go. I stopped making excuses. The answer is always no. And after 36 days, I'm telling myself we're not to play this game again. We are. Good, man. That's great, Chris. I'm glad that you're giving yourself permission to believe in yourself. I'm glad that you're giving yourself permission to believe that you can. You've got a little victory there. Keep going, my friend. Is it going to be easy? Is it going to be hard? I'll let you be the judge of that. Laura says, what helped me to quit was giving in to God. Prayer, okay, prayer, reading the Bible, meditating on scripture. As I just read, a man's belly shall be filled. I read Proverbs 18. A man's belly shall be filled from the fruit of his lips. Um, hey, pay the bills ahead of time. There's a good plan, a good step. The power lifter says you got to be obsessed about your goal, got to get jacked up. Jacked up. Katrina O'Connor, hey, welcome to the episode number 61. Self motivation and a real want to stop. Pray to God. Eat healthy. There's another good one, eating healthy and exercise. I'm glad that you brought it up. Eating good, healthy exercise, even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes of your day, is better than no exercise. Get some dopamine, right? Get some endorphins floating around in your system early in the morning or late at night. Exercise is part of the plan. I highly recommend having some form of exercise if you're working to get away from some kind of an addiction that's bringing you down. Let me see. Jeremiah says, working on being honest with myself and others. The wife. Hey, there's Billy, right? Billy, the bill collectors. They're the ones that usually come around on Fridays. Billy and the family. You guys know about Billy and the family, right? The bill collectors. Um, Jeremiah says, ask God in the morning, how can I best serve thee? Thy will, not mine, be done. Matthew chapter 6. Yep, thy will be done. Then strive to do it. We've got a lot of great ideas here. Now, you've all given some good answers here to what the number two step to stopping your problem with whatever it may be. We're talking about gambling in this episode tonight. You got to have a plan. You absolutely have to plan. Now, where do we find the plan? Where do we find a plan? And how can I make the perfect plan for myself? How can I make the plan to stop problem gambling in my life or to stop the triggers, right? To manhandle the triggers. You're not going to stop the triggers. You're not going to stop the temptation. Okay. That's not going to happen. You can learn to manhandle them. You can learn to uh, manhandle your thoughts, but you're never going to stop the triggers. You're never going to stop the temptation. That's always going to be around. But the number two thing to have is you must have a plan in place. Imagine getting up today, imagine getting up tomorrow and just being in a fog, right? Leaving all the lights off and just staying in a very dark room. Imagine where's that going to lead you? Nowhere. You got to have a plan. We've talked about some steps here. Appreciate you guys sharing. Faith without works is dead. That's in the book of James, I believe. James, faith without works is dead. Katrina says, learning to laugh with good people. Give your personality time to break free with good people and me time. Laughter. The, the Bible says laughter is like medicine. That's good that you brought that up, Katrina. Laughter is good. You got to laugh, right? I have to laugh at myself. Sometimes I'm a bit dry. Sometimes, I mean, I'm trying, okay? I'm trying to add a little humor to my episodes, okay? Um, every once in a while, I'll throw in a joke, but I don't know. Some people think I'm a joke. Sometimes I think I'm a joke. I'm my own joke. I'll have fun with yourself, man. Poke fun with yourself, encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. You ever look at yourself in the, I'm sure you do because I've encouraged you to, right? I've told you guys already enough times. Again, this is all optional. But look at yourself in the mirror today and maybe look at your hair or look at your ears or look at your nose or maybe just look at your skin and poke a little fun at yourself, laugh at yourself a little bit. Don't put yourself down, but laugh with yourself, or laugh, maybe not laugh at yourself, but laugh with yourself. That's good medicine, my friend. So there's a lot of things, a lot of little things that we can do, a lot of little life hacks that we're talking about here. Number three, what has to happen in order for you to really begin working? I know we've already mentioned the word action, right? Was it Jeremiah? Laughter is awesome. I think it was Jeremiah that said action. Yeah, there it is. Action, right? You can have desire, you can have some kind of a plan. Maybe that plan includes videos. Maybe that plan includes Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, Soldiers of Self Mastery. It could be the Little Red Book. It could be the Problem Gambling Breakthrough Academy, right? It could be something else. It could be your wife helping you. It could be your son or your daughter. Um, you got to have a plan. And then number three, execute. As we mentioned, we just talked about execute. I'm not going to get too far into this because I know time is moving along. But my friend, the truth is that if you want to become better, if you want, you just have to make a choice. It has to be a decision. And that decision, you have to have something continually in front of you. You have to have a focus in front of you. You have to have affirmations. You have to have videos, a book, a journal. You have to have yourself. You have to have accountability. All of these things, if your imagination, even if you just sat in bed. I know Jim brought this up, but it's in the book. You could lay in bed every morning and every night for 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. That's 60 seconds times 5 minutes. You can lay in bed and you can just visualize. You can use your mind to see yourself doing what you really want to do. And the more that you practice that little event, since your subconscious, your mind doesn't know the difference between it being real or it just being imagined, it takes it on as if it's already happening. So the more you do it, the more you do it, the more you're conditioning yourself. And that's what you want. You want to condition yourself to move towards what's best for you, right? You want to condition yourself. You want to hypnotize yourself towards conditions. You want to hypnotize yourself towards conditions that are going to help you become the best version of yourself, little by little, right? And like they say, inch by inch is a cinch. A little bit here, a little video here, little exercise over here, little eating some good food over here, right? Drinking plenty of water, little by little, little by little. You gotta. It's the only way it works, right? We can't just think about it, right? We can come here and we can get all fired up and we can talk about breaking the curse and breaking the habit and optimizing the paradigms and digging into the seventh reservoir. We can do all of this stuff, right? And then walk away like we just forgot what we look like. We looked into the mirror, we saw, we walked away, not really thinking about what we look like. Now, let's see what. Am I making any sense here tonight, my friends? Am I making am I making any sense or am I just preaching? Slimy 4444. Gambling is a lie. Hey, there's Rob. There you go. Good to see you, Rob. And Slimy4, welcome to the program. Hello, how long will you be streaming? Well, I'll be streaming for another few minutes. I'm taking on questions. We're talking about problem gambling. We're talking about what we knew. By the way, I want you to remember this, okay? SantosPlace, okay? Remember this. If you're stuck, something just caught my eye here. Rule 62, don't take yourself so seriously. Laugh out loud. It's Rule 62. Okay. So I just lost my train of thought here. Where am I going with this? Oh, we're talking about we're talking about oh man, I'm becoming a distraction here. Angie says 3 years and counting. Rob, do you have an anniversary date? The first day you stopped? Do you have an Angie says, um, I made my first decision a couple of years ago, but I didn't finalize it. I really didn't finalize it till I actually began to believe that I could finalize it. See, we talked about starting out with desire. You got to have desire. If you don't have the desire, it's I mean, if it's not there, can you make something happen without desire? I think that's an impossibility, right? But once it's there and you start grabbing a hold of these little life hacks that I share, that others share, and you begin implementing, I can see that many of you here are talking about these or implementing these little life hacks. Now, again, it's all about doing. It's all about doing it, right? It's all about action. It's all about execution. Because again, if we don't know what we look like, we've forgotten what we've looked like, we walked away from the mirror, we're not really taking things seriously. Rob, Katrina, way to go. Now keep it going. Do you have the ganas? Stand and deliver. Do you have the ganas? Yep. So, you know how good it feels when you look back and you say, man, I remember those times. I remember those difficult times. It sure feels good to be free, man. I tell you, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to be free? Well, you feel like a new person. Um, yeah, you get triggers every once in a while, but you're I mean, life is different. Life is different. Life is much happier. Life is more pleasant. Yeah, you're still dealing with the consequences, right? You're still dealing with the aftermath of what you've caused. I believe it was Jim that says, either Jim or Rob, we cause collateral damage, right? You have to deal with that. That's one of the most difficult things when you are away from problem gambling is the collateral damage, the people that you've done, right? The family members that no longer trust you. They're pointing a finger. Yeah, we'll see how long he lasts this time. Yeah, we'll see how long. I know. Yeah, but you got to believe in yourself, right? For me too. I wouldn't go in a casino for anything. I'd go into a casino if they paid me lots of money to go in there and speak to people about why they shouldn't be gambling. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but you never know. Jeremiah Harris, I'm 13 years sober and 150 days gamble free. Congratulations, Jeremiah. That's good, man. Maybe hey, maybe one of these days I'll do an interview here. We can do a live interview, Jeremiah. You up to that? And we can share. You can share with the audience how you've been able to do this. Just let me know. We can set it up. Um, Rob says I helped two friends there stop going there. Right on. That feels good when they are happier people now. It feels good when we can do things like that. It feels good when we can overcome. It feels good when we can break through and just keep a consistency. We're not going to do things perfectly every single time. I know that, but we can keep a consistency, right? Little by little. And as long as we keep that consistency going, right? Just going forward. That's what matters. That's what's important, my friends. I tell you, that's what I'm excited about. I look at myself and I say, wow, it's been some time now. It's been years since I made my decision, but I didn't believe in myself. I had a very difficult time. You know, I there was times where it felt like I was just dragging a dead body around, right? I was dragging a dead body around. And eventually I had to cut the corpse. I had to cut that corpse loose. And when I did, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different program today. It's a whole different day. And yes, we deal with the issues. We deal with the issues head on. There's no perfection in this on this side of life, but we just keep going forward. Got to give it away to keep it carry the message of hope. So that's good. No winning in gambling. Rob is right. No winning in gambling. So hopefully, my friends, we've gotten something out of this episode here tonight. Hopefully, we've walked away with something. I maybe this Friday we'll talk a little bit more about what I was going to talk about was we were going to talk about business. We're going to talk about making $5,000 to $10,000 a month, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. We're going to talk about ideas. Maybe we'll do that on Friday. We'll talk about ideas. How can we do that? How can we make that kind of money? So that's probably going to be on the next episode. So what can we walk away from this episode, my friends? Hopefully, you've gotten something. Um, you know, for me, it's gotten so easy when it comes to no gambling. It's like I'm almost kind of forgotten in a sense what it feels like, and of course, I don't want to really think about that because it's been a long time. 32 plus years is a long time, but feeling free, getting away from all of it. I'm telling you, this is where it's at. So remember to give. Remember to donate financially to this labor of love if you're benefiting. Share these videos on another social media site. Come back here. We'll see you 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Friday. And walk away with something, my friend. Don't walk away empty handed. Walk away with something that you can apply, something that you can improve your life with, something that you can immediately put into effect. So I don't have anything else to say. Let me see what you guys are sharing here. Half hour is not enough, Rob says. Well, I usually go over the half hour. So, Katrina, well done, Santos. You're an amazing role model. Thank you, Katrina. I truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you for sharing that. I'm humbled. I want you to know that. So, use your journal. There we go. Did you guys write in your journal this week? Lately, I haven't been using my journal. Yeah, well, I do. Sometimes I'll read, sometimes I'll put in it, and sometimes I won't even write in it. But I usually do. I'll write somewhere. If it's not in my journal, it'll be in my on my phone, in my notepad, or some other place, or maybe I just put comments on somebody's video. Stay tough. Hey, welcome to the episode number 61. We're almost done with this program. So if you didn't get a chance to see the entire program, go back through. Don't be a cheesecake. All right. Don't be a roll of toilet paper and get stuck in the cracks. I'm just joking. There was a joke I said the other day. Why couldn't the toilet paper cross the street? Why couldn't the toilet paper roll across the street or get across the street? I know it's not that dirty. Well, the toilet paper roll got stuck in the crack. Never mind. Lottery tickets are dangerous, yes, because they are an avenue. They can lead to other things. Of Let me see, uh, Adalid Valdovinas. Thanks again, my friend, for this great talk. Hey, you're welcome. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being here. Um, yes, we start the program at 4 p.m. and then we end it at 4. Sometimes we go a little bit longer. It looks like we're going over a little bit longer here. I left the hospital. He was yelling. My mom played his number wrong. Laugh out loud, Santo. Yeah, I'm trying to laugh out loud. I'm trying to be funny, man. I'm trying to get some jokes here in the mix. I'm trying, man. Don't bust my chops. All right, I'm trying, man. So, anyways, let's see what we've got. Let's end this episode. By the way, we talked about three things, right? stopping gambling, desire, the plan, execute. I'm going to give you number 4. There's a couple more things here, but I'm going to end with number 4 here. You got to analyze your plan too, because if you have a plan and you do it and you find that maybe it's not working, it's not really holding up to what you wanted it to, you got to analyze. You got to improvise and adapt and keep going forward. You got to keep going forward. Keep going forward, right? Uh, and the thing is about these life hacks that I'm sharing with you guys is that they're filling the void. See, when you're leaving something, right, there is a void there. When you're leaving, when you're working on leaving, when you're working on abandoning something, right, there's a void there. So, what are you filling that void? With some journaling, with some Friday Night Alive Power Hour, with some Sunday Night Alive Power Hour with your host, right? Or your journal. Or maybe you're just getting in front of the mirror and you're looking at yourself for 5 or 10 minutes at a time, looking at your beautiful face and beautiful eyes. And, maybe you'll notice that you have a little white hair that comes out every once in a while, from your eyebrows and stuff like that. You learn to appreciate yourself, man. Learn to have fun with yourself, love yourself. And it takes the place of going to the casinos, right? Let me see. Jeremiah says proximity. Hang with positive people to be influenced, to want to do positive things. Exactly. Fill the void. That's critical. Yep. You got to fill it with something, right? That's why I say, you know what? Don't focus on the negatives. Don't focus on trying to quit. Don't focus on trying to break the habit. Focus on what you need to do and let that thing that you need to do override the negatives. So I draw, detail, cars, make my bed, move a muscle to change a thought. There you go. That's right. Anything. I mean, really, it, we complicate things so terrible. Think about that for a moment. You just brought up a really good point, Jeremiah. A thought, a trigger, a temptation, right? That's the initial step. That is the initial defensive step that one must take, right? Is to deal with the triggers, to deal with the temptation. If you deal with that, you won't end up dealing with the money lost in a casino. In other words, you're dealing with the thought. Shock the thought. Shock it, right? You get a thought to go gamble, you get a trigger, your day went wrong, whatever the triggers, shock that moment that you sense that thought. Shock it. Shock it. How? However, draw, get a piece of paper, 5 4 3 2 1, like Melanie Robbins says. 5 4 3 2 1. Change your thought pattern. Shock it. All right, guys. Is your book? It's in your book, The Thought Hack. It's in there. Yeah, there's quite a few things in there. Thank you for bringing that up. By the way, if you haven't gotten yourself a copy, of course, it's not this book, this big. If you haven't gotten yourself a copy of the Little Red Book, it's, let me see, it's actually, this is more like the size of it here, but this is the front of it. So you can see the difference. Makes a good gift, the Little Red Book. And it's now an ebook, and my other book's on there too. So, Life's 3 Most Important Questions. It's an ebook. You can download it anywhere around the world. There's no excuses, my friend. No excuses at all for anybody that wants to stop gambling. This is your one-stop shop, SantosPlace. Okay, remember that, SantosPlace. In fact, I'm probably going to get a link that's going to say SantosPlace.com. That book, I'm hoping that it'll sell thousands. It hasn't sold thousands yet. There may be a third. Actually, I've gone through that book already. I may have to do some more updating, but and thank you for being one person that is available to watch anytime. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, take advantage of the videos. Share the videos, Chris, please. The videos that you find interesting, share them on other social media sites. Help me and help the young people that are out there too. There's a lot of young people that are struggling with gambling. They're having problems. So I need your help. I need your help. Please help me, you guys, please. Ah, so when it catches on, all right, I can get flyers out at truck stops. There we go. I'll have to come up with a flyer. Soldier, by the way, I haven't forgotten this, but I'm going to be doing this T-shirt giveaway, book giveaways, mug giveaways. I'm talking to my partner. I'm trying to get some kind of a fund program specifically for that. If you guys, if you want to sport some merch or drink whatever it is that you drink out of Soldiers of Self Mastery mug, that'd be a cool thing. Anyways, just imagination. So, um, all right, you guys aren't paying attention to me anymore, so I gotta go. Hey, remember to make every day super fantastic, terrific, over the top, in spite of and because of, my friends. Stay on top. Remember to train your brain, or your brain's gonna train you, right? There's always room for improvement within room for improvement, my friends. It's all about going forward. It's all about believing in yourself. It's all about having a plan, execute, analyze, execute, hold yourself accountable, my friend. Hold yourself accountable. How can I get an autograph, my friend? Well, I'm going to be ordering some more books. Like I said, I'm going to be ordering some more books. I'm trying to get a fund. If I get enough feedback, because it takes money for me to send out material, if I can get a fund together, get enough people that are willing to contribute to that fund, we can do some giveaways, some mugs, some books, some T-shirts. Man, I got the hiccups. Ah, what have you. Santos is the next Anthony Robbins. I don't know about the next Anthony Robbins. I just want to be me. I just want to be me, soldier of self mastery. Just soldier of self mastery. I'm humbled, Rob. Okay, fair play. All right, let's make a decision that we're going to stop. Let's make a decision that we're going to do something, one thing. We're going to walk away from this episode with one thing, my friend. Uno, one, right? Walk away. I'll see you guys on my next episode. And this is going to be a super fantastic, terrific, over the top week. You make it that way, make it a super fantastic, terrific, over the top week. Again, encourage yourself, motivate yourself. Remember the 15-minute mornings, do some exercise in the morning, and read your affirmations, my friend. Read your affirmations. All right. Peace.